welcome to our member interview series that we're doing for the Baltimore-Annapolis Professional LinkedIn Group. And today we have Heike Heeman, the CEO, founder, everything of IdeaShare Business Coaching. All right, Heike. First of all, welcome. We really appreciate you taking the time. Although, in fairness, since it's your group, you probably had no choice, but we'd still appreciate it. Okay.
Well,
Um,
you did give me a choice, but I'm glad to be here.
okay. Um, but for those who don't know you, what we'd like, we're doing all these interviews. One of the first things we're doing is asking everyone to give their elevator speech, pitch. But first of all,
Right,
because it's interesting, but also in a very quick way, lets everyone know who you are and what you do. So
right.
you're on. Let's hear your elevator pitch.
All right, fantastic. I help business owners and executives to really reach for their own goals and stay focused so that they don't get taken off track by the phone calls that come in, the fires they have to put out. And I serve as their confidential accountability partner, basically, because if you are working on something that can't be shared with family, friends, or colleagues until it's fully formalized, then who do you talk to? Your business coach, hopefully.
Okay. Excellent. And I remember talking to an owner once who was expressing that very challenge. You don't want to tell your employees that there's challenges. The last thing they want to know is that there's challenges in their job, right? You don't want to
Right.
go home and tell your wife or husband that there's challenges. They don't particularly get thrilled about it. I mean, they want to be there to be supportive, but and so, do you find that a lot of business people need that confidential confidant and coach?
My clients, I would say that is the number one reason they've hired me. Is they want an outside perspective and someone that they can trust and bounce ideas off of and admit that maybe there's something that they are struggling with, that they really need to figure out and they need some help with it. And that's where I come in.
Excellent. All right, and I would think in your business, we all hopefully have things that we like about our business. I would think in your business, helping people have breakthroughs and get to the next level would be one of them. Is that accurate?
Oh, absolutely. That is my favorite part. And like many other business owners, the parts I don't like are the admin side of things. But really, helping people is what drives me.
Okay, excellent. Do you have a couple of favorite stories without names and stuff? Obviously, we want to maintain confidentiality, but
Sure. I had a client who was struggling with the assumption that her marketing wasn't working, even though she had guidance from marketing experts and she had traffic coming to the door. But through evaluation and probing questions, we figured out that it wasn't the marketing that was failing her. It was her front office staff that wasn't turning the one-time client into a repeat customer.
okay.
And that's really what she needed. So it wasn't that she needed more marketing or different marketing. She needed customer service training with a focus on sales.
Okay. Now,
And by herself, she hadn't figured that out. So that's one example.
okay. So it became not if something's broken, is what is broken. That usually things have a
Yes,
complete sequence, and if one of those things are not working, we assume the whole thing's not working. Yeah.
exactly. And if I could use another analogy, if you will, let's say you play a sport, let it be golf or you're an ice skater or something.
Or sailor.
Sometimes yes, and you cannot see how you move in space, so you may use a video camera that gives you one perspective, but if athletes have coaches for that reason is they need the outside view to really give them a little more of a subjective, an objective view of what might be wrong, because we all have blinders. There are certain things that we can see or cannot see about our own skill sets, our own capabilities in our own business. And an outsider often can see things with much more clarity.
Interesting. Yeah, one of the things I've often thought of, and see if this falls into kind of that category. Say you're watching an NBA championship game, and there's 30 seconds to go. One team's down by one, and the coach calls a timeout. Now we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
five of the greatest basketball players in the world, who have been doing this since they were five. They probably know what to
Right.
do. The coach is there
Exactly.
not to educate them. It's there
Yeah.
to bring focus and some composure and focus to the situation. Is that a similar type thing to what you're discussing also?
Absolutely, yes. It's staying focused, especially in a day-to-day environment when the phone rings, someone walks in, and all of a sudden you're completely off track of what your priorities were for that day, or for that week, or even that month. Something can get you off track, and setting time aside and knowing that you cannot change that because you are meeting with someone that's going to ask you about it will keep people on track and help them get to their goals faster.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you. Anything else about your business you'd like to share with us before we go to the our final question?
Well, I do business coaching with executives and business owners, but I also do LinkedIn coaching because that is a tool that I use for my own business.
Okay.
And I find it is a great way to keep relationships, stay in touch with people, and build your own brand, which, as you and I have discussed previously, is much more than just a logo.
Right.
Um, it's your presence as a person, as a company, and the credibility you bring to the table. So that is another aspect of what I do.
Okay. So that little discussion about bring credibility to the table, was that another suggestion that I change my headshot in my LinkedIn profile?
That would help.
That would help. Okay. Noted. All right. Wonderful. So let me ask, if LinkedIn's that important, are we going to be able to get you to give a training to the members of the group?
Absolutely.
Okay,
That's
wonderful. Because
already in the plan.
I think we all can make use of that. So we'll wait for an announcement on that. Okay. All right.
Fantastic.
So our final question is: your years of in business, have you gotten a particularly good piece of business advice you'd like to share with people, and or a couple of books that have been very impactful in what you do?
Really, just one? Come
Oh
on.
no, as many as you want. As many as you want. We're actually doing fine time wise. I got my little timer down here. We're doing fine. So whatever you'd like.
Well, one book I have referred a lot of people to is Never Eat Alone.
Yeah.
It's by Keith Ferrazzi, and I agree with a lot of things he suggests. I don't think everyone's going to implement all of it. There's only one part actually I don't agree with, and that's his view on network meetings. Because he seems to assume that they're just for unemployed people desperate to get their resume out there, which is completely wrong. And the other book for people that are more in a service-oriented business, lawyers, accountants, etc., coaches, is Book Yourself Solid. It's a really great roadmap on filling your calendar with paying clients.
Pay, those are the good kind, correct?
Yes, the good kind. Yes.
Excellent.
Don't want the ones that don't pay you. Not
Right.
too many of them.
Yeah.
There is space for pro bono, for sure.
Absolutely. And there's obviously a time where you get to know each other and might have some discussions that are in the sales process. Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Wonderful. Well, I really thank you for taking the time to be with us today. We're excited about this new series of Meet the Members, and we hope a lot of people take advantage of it. And we thank you for taking the time, and we'll be waiting for everyone's reaction to our video here. Right. Thank
So
you.
am I. And thanks very much for having me on this side of the camera.
Great. Bye.
Goodbye, Howard.